S&P 500 battling for 55 right now. We are back towards the lows of the day. Joining us, Phil Strebel, Chief Market Strategist at Blue Line Futures, with us for a Friday afternoon chat, hitting all kinds of stuff. But stocks first, real quick, Phil. Kind of an ugly week.
Yeah, it's been terrible. I mean, just widespread liquidation. I think that it caught people off guard when we saw that big rotation out of tech, out of the S&P 500 into the Dow, into the Russell, and it just really took off from there. And they stretched themselves a bit too far. Now you've got this, precipitous decline here on all the indices across the board. So I think people felt like we got a little bit long in the tooth. And you know that it's really difficult to trade when you get that volatility index up 12% on the week. You get that breakout and vol. You could basically throw out all the support resistance levels right out the window here and kind of just hold on. This is where people need to kind of pare back. This is where right sizing also plays an important role, volatility, adjusting your positions, things like that. So you're going to have to get the pencil, the paper out over the weekend and really think about position sizing with this increased volatility.
Yeah, it does kind of change the game a little bit, right? And not as easy as pressing the index buy button with big tech carrying you no matter what else happens.
Yeah, that CrowdStrike and Microsoft news overnight, that really put kind of a damper on any kind of recovery that we were seeing. We saw CrowdStrike go down. Seemed like the CEO kind of fumbled that, that recovery interview here halfway through the session. So we're not really seeing much of a bid here at the moment. I think people are going to kind of throw in the towel at the end of the day. One moment, NASDAQ was almost down about 100 points. And then within, that last interview you were on, I mean, we saw it fall like 75 points. S&P fell 10. I'm like, holy cow, I need a 5-point harness on this chair.
Right. Do you need the backup stuff for all the internet outages down there? Or you just hit the beach? How's that work in Florida?
Yeah, no, it's working pretty well. The problem
is... You guys on the same system down there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of the trading platforms and things like that, were impacted by it. And there were some things that we had to get through, but we've got backup plans for every single thing that's out there. So, I mean, it's not as archaic as calling down a train pit and get my floor right onto the floor. I wish we were back at that level.
Yeah, that's going backwards. We got to keep going forwards. Phil, does Bitcoin take any message from? Is this why Bitcoin's up today? Are people going like, oh, I need something that's like, in a different world?
Yeah, the conversation we had last week, we were kind of stuck between 55,000 and 59,000, and we were consolidating at 57. It seemed like after the events surrounding Trump and the rally and everything, Bitcoin had gapped higher, and a lot of people were texting and calling saying they wanted to buy Bitcoin Sunday night. We saw that big gapwards up on price. We consolidated Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Today, we broke out over the 50-day moving average. We're closing on the highs right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see another massive ETF inflow, people buying physical Bitcoin. And then you look at the news flow from last week. It was so bad. And that's oftentimes when you get the turn in the markets.
Okay. All right. So the move here, you think kind of it sounds like technical overdue maybe that could actually carry us? It's not like a one-time fluke?
I think so. I mean, we gapped higher, we consolidated, we broke out to the upside.
Yeah, fair enough.
We're on the highs of the day. That's a chart pattern you want to look for. It doesn't matter if it's corn, live cattle, whatever market it is, that's what you want to be participating in if you're a technician. I think part of the weakness in U.S. equities right now, people are really, they're cashing in the chips there. There's a little bit of panic in the air. There's a little bit of panic over new policies that Trump could implement if he does take office. So you're seeing like the China factor, the Europe factor, Mexico with EV sales, things like that. Really, people are just getting a little bit nervous, and Bitcoin seems to be that safe haven asset people are looking for at the moment.
Okay. All right. Like it. So it's a pretty good technical take with stocks. Under pressure too. Bitcoin now going the other way because it had been underperforming while stocks were doing well. So it's kind of interesting. I'm with you there. It's getting interesting again. Gold breaking down, but crude breaking down even more. I feel like we should talk WTI, Phil. I mean, looked like it was trying to get up above 85 again. Total rejection there. And then we break through $80 to the downside. What's going on?
I know it's sitting on the 50-day moving average right now. It did break a critical level of support, taking out the last 2, 3 days lows. It could target the 200-day moving average. A lot of people thinking again on Trump policies, energy independence, things like that. The problem is it takes almost 12 months for any of these things to really gain any kind of traction with any kind of new administration. So I don't think that, we automatically go to $60 crude oil. I think that there's a fight back and forth from here. But again, this is just kind of a sour attitude towards the economy right now, kind of a slowdown, kind of a changeover. People are nervous, and feelings are playing a role at the moment.
I think you nailed that because the whole commodity complex basically coming with it too.
I know. In the, gold futures making a record high this week. Now they're down. Gold's down $50. Silver really went to a free fall. I got to wear my "Make Silver Great Again" hat all weekend. We got to get that thing back up $35, $40. Make all the little guys rich.
One thing I was going to, speaking of red hats, one thing I was going to say with WTI is if there is like a Trump play, a drill, I think that's like the most laughable thing because we're already drilling tons, like setting world records. But let's just say that that's going to like go up even more. Then I guess you could have crude down, energy stocks up, which I feel like might be that kind of regime.
On Blue Line Capital on our wealth management side, we'll tend to own some of those like midstream energy companies, some of the pipelines that aren't really impacted by the price of it going up or down. They just want to see increased demand and more flow through, So those might be the products that people want to look at. They pay generally a healthy dividend. The price, I don't want to shy away from there's risk involved, but the price seems to be a little bit more stable, a little bit less volatile out there than, say, some tech company or a small cap.
Okay, got it. Like it. Good analysis. Phil, have a great weekend, sir. Appreciate the market walkthrough there. We hit a lot.
You too. Take care, man.
Always helpful. Phil Striebel, Chief Market Strategist at Blue Line Futures. Yeah, the 5-point harness. I like